As home prices in Metro Vancouver show no sign of slowing down, homeowners might think it's easier to get financing, but it may not be that simple. Joining us this morning to talk about how refinance and foreclosure really works is Peter Sashecki from Everything Financial. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Carrie. How are you today?
I am great. Didn't win the big Lotto Max 70 million, and neither did you, for the record.
No, no, neither did I. So here we both are again this morning.
Well, the good thing about you being a financial planner is that you would know how to spend that money, so that's something that would be on your side.
I know how to save and invest the money too, but I don't need 70 million to know how to spend it.
Oh, no kidding. I would definitely know how to spend the 70 million. No problems there. Let's talk about money, because I think if someone owns a home and it's worth millions, they may think, hey, maybe I want to use some of that for other things, and they may want to consider refinancing. Is it any easier to do that?
No, refinancing since 2016 is actually a little tougher. People think, we'll use the example, a $2 million home, and I want to get $500,000 out of that house. And let's say they own the house outright. Obviously, it's free and clear. And they think, well, I want to get $500,000. Well, the bank, of course, will give me the money. What's the risk to the bank? They can always just foreclose on the house if I don't pay them. It's not quite that simple.
Yeah, what happens if you do default? Does the bank take title of your home?
No, they don't. They can force the sale of your house, but the bank is only entitled to what they are owed. They don't take the house. They force you to sell the house in a foreclosure, which is messy, complicated, dragged out. And trust me, I know I've made fun of the banks before, but the banks do not want to foreclose on people's houses, and they are only entitled to what they are owed. The balance would go back to you, the homeowner.
Yeah, okay, so let's expand on that a little bit, because I think, the word foreclosure, it has a lot of mystery around it. So what happens when your home is foreclosed?
Well, the bank will force the sale of the house. It goes to a judge. People will bid on it. There's sealed bids on it, etc. And then the person doesn't even really get to inspect the house or anything. The house is kind of sight unseen, and the day they take possession, what's in the house is what they get. And remember back in '08 when there was a lot of this going on with the economic crisis, the recession, there was a lot of people buying foreclosures because they were readily available, more so down south than here, obviously, but still available here. People would go into a house and there's walls kicked in, all the appliances are missing. I'm talking pot lights, fixtures missing. Like, the house is pretty well cleaned right out, but buyer beware in a foreclosure.
Yeah, okay. And if someone is thinking about refinancing, what about a stress test? Do you still have to go through that regardless of what your equity in the home is?
You do. And so that's where the banks really come in, or your mortgage broker, or whoever you're doing your refinancing with. Don't blame them, the banker, the mortgage broker, whoever. It's not their fault if you don't qualify, because there's a stress test the government put in place back in 2016. And the stress test really shows your availability to pay the loan. So can you afford it? And you may think, in this example we gave, the $2 million house wanting $500,000. If your mortgage broker or your bank says, sorry, you only qualify for $300,000, as they say, don't shoot the messenger. It's not their fault, because the stress test prevents you from borrowing more than you can really afford. And that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It prevents you from being financially detriment to yourself by getting yourself in debt that you just can't pay. So just because you have the equity doesn't mean you're getting all the money you want.
Yeah, okay, good advice this morning. Peter Sashecki with Everything Financial. Thanks for joining us, and happy Wednesday to you.
Thanks, Carrie, and go buy another lottery ticket for next week.
So we can see if I don't win one more time. Thanks, Peter.
You bet. All righty.